Hi, welcome to Feminism on Trial. I'm going to share a comment with you. I'm sure you guys don't get to read all the comments. This one was a very special one, and I think his story is not unfamiliar to you guys, and it sort of has all of the horrible aspects that men are going through right now. And if you haven't been through it, I hope this can be a warning to you, so that you can protect yourself and know what is out there. And please, if you're like, oh, my woman's different, they can do a 180. So just please be careful. So I just want to read you his story. This was a comment to my video, Women Treat Men as Disposable Tools. That's when I talked about working for the lady and how after I got sick, I had an MS attack, she completely changed. I mean, it was like, I didn't know what was happening. She completely changed, and then she was like, she didn't want me around, she didn't want me to help, she wanted me to move out. I was not useful to her anymore. And so she was suddenly angry at me and started to sort of accuse me of things, halfway accuse me of faking, call me a cripple one second and then say I'm faking the next. And I'm like, wow. Because I already knew some men's stories. And then I saw this and I was like, this must be a little bit what it's like. I in no way am saying that I know what you guys go through, but I saw a little bit. I had a peek into it. So I shared that in this video, and then this man replied, "This is exactly why I gave up at 30 and will never date again. I wanted a wife and children. Now I don't even want sex from them. Most men I know are opting out of dating. Some are opting out of life. Most men are invisible to women until their sons and brothers suffer, die, or self-delete. They don't even notice what's going on around them." That's so true. That's so true. They don't. Women don't notice anything until it happens to their son or their brother, but probably more so their sons. His story continues. "I married a girl I knew in high school. We were friends until I told her I was going to ask another girl out. Then she asked me out." Women are highly competitive. Just letting you know that. We are very competitive and not in the same way as men. "I'm kind of shy about approaching, so it was a big deal to me. I had just gotten a very high-paying tech job and bought a house. I was 26. Yeah, I bet she wanted to go out with him. He'd just gotten a high-paying tech job. His story continues. "We got married. I started a business. She quit her job. I didn't ask why. I didn't care. I was making enough. She never cleaned, so I did all the housework, as I just can't live in filth. She didn't cook. I didn't really want her to, as she would just leave a big mess for me anyway." She sounds like a peach. "I wanted children. She didn't. We never had any. In fact, we barely had sex. Less than 10 times in the entire marriage. I got laid off. Fix it, she kept telling me. I kept apologizing. I don't know why. It just seemed to make her more angry." Yeah, he would apologize and it would make her more angry. And she's yelling at him to fix it. "I loved her more than my own life, literally. The more I gave, the less I got. The more I tried, the more she was angry. She wouldn't tell me why. She wouldn't talk to me. I grew depressed. I used to be so optimistic. I can't imagine now. I'm not the same man anymore. She left for a couple of weeks. I stopped eating. A day, 2, 3, a week. I stopped sleeping. I took a second full-time job to fix it. I got the bills paid. The mortgage crisis hit, and the house was now worth less than I owed. I worked to fix it. I would have literally worked till I died. I was trapped. It was lose everything, including my wife, or do the impossible. Those were my options. After 9 days, no food, and a month only sleeping on Sunday, because he's working himself to death. Only sleeping on Sunday, 2 full-time, overtime at both jobs, and keeping the house up, she returned. I was in the middle of writing a note. You know, that kind of note, like a goodbye note. I didn't tell her. So she left for 2 weeks. While she's gone, he's getting 2 full-time jobs. He's not eating. He's not sleeping. He's getting bills paid after she finally comes back, right? So she comes back, and meanwhile, he's writing this note, to end himself. So she gets home and he puts the note, she comes back, he puts the note away. I was feeling I could try again. I was sitting in bed. I was going to tell her how much I loved her and that I didn't care about the house or anything as long as she was with me. She started talking at the exact moment. So they started talking at the same time. I said, "You first." She said, "I want a divorce." She got up, went in the closet, and grabbed her already packed bag and left. About 2 weeks later, I couldn't take the lack of sleep anymore and quit my night job. I was up on the bills by then, and my new day job paid better. I went home. She was there packing up stuff. I told her, just stay in the house, and I'll leave and try to keep up the mortgage. So he's like, you just stay here. I'll go, and I'll keep paying the mortgage for you to stay here. I didn't notice her new car. Wonder where that came from. At least I have the distinction of being the first man in my family to ever get a divorce. And that hurts. When your whole family has, history of everyone staying together and then you're the one that gets divorced, that hits hard. And people really, especially men, take that as it's a huge failure. I'm ashamed. I couldn't keep my wife. I'm a failure. It's 22 years later. I only tried to date once and got rinsed. I think the phrase is for a $1,100 meal, so I gave up. $1,100 meal? I don't even know what you're eating. And I don't know. I like Taco Bell. Sorry. Continue. This poor man. The only reason I'm still here is several of my friends have similar stories. 2 of my friends are single dads. They are the lucky ones. One of my friends raised 3. Only 2 of them were his children. The other raised 5 by himself. They all lived with me for 2 years. I never told him his daughter isn't his daughter. I think he suspects it, but it would just hurt him, so I stay quiet on that part. It's too late for me. My life ended long ago. I have obligations to my elderly relatives, but I'm following right behind. My friends know this. They aren't even trying to say I shouldn't. March 18th, my anniversary. Been my plan for 20 years now. So don't bother with the "you got more to life" crap. Life sucks. The best gift an expectant mother can give their son these days is an abortion. I did respond to him. I didn't try to give him any kind of a speech. This story is tragic, and it's not rare. Neither is the part when he talks about his friends raising children that are supposed to be theirs but are not. That's the first time I've been able to get through that without breaking down in horrible, in a horrible, ugly cry. This time I just feel angry. I still feel sad. I feel tremendous compassion for this man. But I'm so angry. And I'm sure that there are plenty of people who watch my videos and think that maybe I hate women, or maybe I'm too slanted and I'm just saying that men do everything wonderfully and women are evil and this and that. And no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that nobody's holding women accountable. Nobody's saying this stuff. Yeah, we've got some anti-feminists and we've got some people pointing out, the wage gap lie, and, that women are expecting ridiculous, 6-pack abs, 6-figure, over 6 feet tall in dating. And I'll talk about that stuff too. But we don't have people talking about what is happening to these men. How these women are just completely changing and divorcing them and throwing them away like they're nothing. And I mean, before this man's wife threw him away, she married him, then she quits her job, and I'm 100% good with women not working. I personally think that's the more optimal situation, but I'm never going to go in and tell somebody the way they should organize their life. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I'm not going to do that to them. But if you are a person that's like, well, I have a job and you have a job and that's our situation, and then you change that and you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to work anymore. But you don't take care of the house and you don't cook. There we are with the what do you bring to the table. It just seemed like a parasite. And this man, he loved her. He loved her. He would have done anything. He was working himself to death. He loved her. And yeah, I get it. There's going to be people on here that are going to be like simp and all that stuff, and that's great. Go ahead and say that. What is that solving? Nothing. He was in love with someone he thought existed. And it clearly was some kind of a mirage, because she was not that. But yet he held on to it and is holding on to it to the very last, and it's destroying him. And women have the nerve to act like men don't understand love and all men want is sex, and men don't care about families or marriage or any of that. And I used to think that too. We're brainwashed to think that. Us women were brainwashed to think that's all you guys want. And it's so wrong. It's so off. Men love sacrificially and loyally and with their whole being, like this man here. And that's why when women are initiating divorce at 80% of the time, and then they're calling these men abusers and narcissists and this and that, and they're the ones that are throwing out all the insults and berating you and emasculating you and bringing nothing to the table. I don't really have it bothers me. I am an optimistic person. I'm an optimistic person. And I am every dark cloud has a silver lining person. So this whole topic, this whole issue is it's terrible. But somebody has to say it. Somebody has to share this. Men aren't sharing it with each other, and they're not going to. It's not their nature. They don't go around saying, oh, look at this bad thing that happened to me, I'm such a victim. They're ashamed of it. They're ashamed of, they would never proclaim victimhood. That's a shameful thing to do for a man. And they take accountability. So they're not blasting their failures, what they perceive as their failures. So they're not sharing this. So all these guys, they think they're alone. I mean, obviously this man, as time went on, he started realizing other people going through it too, but he didn't know that at the time. He didn't know that. And there's guys going through it right now that think they are a one-off, that think this crazy woman that's screaming at them and accusing them and then initiating divorce and trying to take the kids and all the rest of it, they think that's a one-off, and they're trying to figure out what they did. And so I just try to put these stories out there, maybe somebody will see it and just say, oh, well, if it's not just me, maybe I'm not the failure. Maybe there's something else going on. And it's not me who failed. That's my silver lining. Is I will just scream this into the wind and hope and pray that it makes a difference. Even if it's, as I've always said, even if it's just one man, that this helps, then it's worth it. And it's been I don't know, 2.5 years now. So it's been at least one man. It's been a few. So I'm going to keep going. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps it. I know that I'm probably shadow banned, but please subscribe. It does. I think it will help it get out to more people like it. That too. I always forget to say that because I'm not here to promote myself, but I want to promote the message. So thanks if you're still listening. I really appreciate it. Be well and stay strong.